So today we're going to talk about why I'm leaving Canada. But first, I have a podcast to do with the world champion jiu-jitsu dude. So that's first. The podcast is done, and this is my favorite part of the clip. What a world champion jiu-jitsu regrets most. I said, Shorty, you're about to die in about 5 minutes. What's your biggest regret in your life?
My biggest regret in my life? Probably wasting, probably 10 years of my life when I got out of wrestling and before I found jiu-jitsu. Just that whole period of my life where I was young, I was able to probably just, grab the world by the balls and go for it. And I spent it just drinking and pissing time away. You know what I mean? Because as I got older and I got into jiu-jitsu, that from the age of say 22 to 25, I just pissed those years away, which are prime years and to go out, travel, go for things, go for a goal in your life. You've got all the energy in the world to do it. You've got, nothing in your life holding you back. You haven't got families yet. You haven't got nothing. That's why I respect guys like you. At a young age, you went after goals. You knew, okay, I got from 20 to say 25 years old. I don't have a family yet. I bought some land in Ecuador. I'm gonna build a fucking house, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to build that house. So your goals in life changed. You weren't, chasing women around. You weren't boozing your life away. You weren't just.
Good advice from the world champion. Don't waste a day. Find out what you want and go get it. Now let me tell you why I'm gonna leave Canada. Canada's a weird place right now. There are dark, dark times in Canada. We have a government-funded media that creates division. We have homelessness, drug usage. We have a war against masculinity. Not only that, we have immigrants that come into Canada that get better tax breaks and benefits than a Canadian citizen that has put his life into a country, into the economy, pays taxes. And it just seems that Canada wants to take the middle class and destroy them. And it sucks because Canada is an amazing country. It's one of the most resource-rich countries in the world. And those are some of the reasons why you might want to leave Canada. But for me, I wanted to leave Canada a long, long time ago. And it wasn't for the reasons I just said. I had a dream, a beautiful dream. A dream that began in Ecuador on a beach. Because I love tropical lifestyle. I love beach lifestyle. And that was the reason why I wanted to leave Canada. And I'm going to tell you the pros and cons about leaving this country. Now what you have is things called strings. Now these are the things that kind of keep you back in Canada. You got your friends, you got your family, you got your networks to build businesses and relationships. Then you got the government side. You got to pay taxes, you got payments, you got work, and you have better systems. Canada has better systems. And all these things create a little web that kind of keep you here, And one of these things are wonderful. At least for me, I have such great communities, such great family. I don't really like this part here. This is not really great. But all these things, you're leaving your hierarchy, you're leaving your positions, you're leaving, and you're going into a complete new place, and no one's going to know you exist. And that's kind of one of those hard things you need to understand, that you do have a lot of benefits here, and there is some disadvantages, but they are things that keep you here in Canada for sure. Another thing, when you leave Canada, you're going to a new place. That means you don't know anybody. You're starting at the bottom of the hierarchy. And when you go into these communities, you need to provide value. And if you lived your whole life in Canada, you have networks, you have groups, you have relationships with people. And once you leave, you're starting at the beginning again. Another great thing about Canada, it has great systems. It's got the banking system. It's got Home Depot for home renovations. When you are in a third world country, you might spend a whole day just to find tiles for your shower. And if you go to another place and you don't have a purpose, or you're a digital nomad, I see a lot of people get lost and they find themselves in the booze and the liquor. And it's kind of pathetic watching it, So people think leaving this country is all sunshine and rainbows, and it depends on the person you are. Like for me, I can go into any group and enjoy myself and provide value to that group, which is a good thing. But if you're not outgoing, it might not be the best place for you to leave this place and leave your groups and networks and your friends and family. Now the pros are, you guessed it, your money goes a lot further. So basically it's a 5-to-1. So every Canadian dollar you have, you get 5 times the buying power. So if you bring $100,000, let's say to Ecuador, you're gonna have $500,000. And that just means you're not gonna be working your whole life. It means you can start to live, which is a really great thing. You can work on things that you're passionate about. For me, I love going to Ecuador because it has my favorite routine I've ever experienced in my life. My favorite routine is building little house projects. I love filming it and then making videos about it, and I love surfing. So what I do is I work half the day with the boys, building this cool house, taking film, shoveling dirt, and then the other half of the day I'd be making these little videos for people like you to watch. And then when the tide was right, I'd go surfing, and that was my favorite routine that I could just live day after day after day. So Ecuador hit a chord for me. And Canada, every time I leave Canada, it's like I drop off a bag of rocks. I'm not having silly conversations. I don't have to worry about what I have to say. Reality is there because they have to deal with real problems, like feeding their family, like getting work, like the real problems. The government is not paying for them, And that's what I really love, because you're this authentic, down-to-earth, common sense people. And, for me, leaving Canada, the weather has a factor to do too. I hate the cold. I love warm countries, and I love beach lifestyle. And the thing is who's ever watching this who wants to leave Canada, you need to know what your chord is, what makes you hum. Is it the mountains? Is it the prairie, small town, city? If you don't know those things, this ain't gonna work for you, sister and brother. So for me, I left because I get a way bigger bang for my buck, had my favorite routines. And it's just a little cherry on top because Canada's super weird and crazy, and it just seems the government is up to something sinister. You know what I mean? Just keeps attacking its citizens that have put money. You got to pay 5 months of your life just for taxes, and I don't know what I get for them now. I don't know what Canada is now, and it's just a little extra bonus, that I have my dream house in Ecuador built, and I get to enjoy it. So I hope this helped. This is today's vlog.